Alright. Gonna stream support Gunfire Reborn. Today, I'm on my normal account because I have things that need to be done so I can unlock the new skin on my primary account. I've been playing so much on the non-primary account that I am now further ahead on that one. And it felt like a, reason to go back and play out some good old Reincarnation 9. Experience true suffering. Which means I am going to be a little more picky-choosy on what I take. I wish the porcupine was better. Fair ammo on a miss. Actually, that's amazing. This early? Also, I got my new Razor Naga in because my old mouse was dying. It was dying a horrible, horrible death. And I need to replace that thing. It was doing bad. But thank you, game. I totally wanted another sniper rifle. Anyways, yeah, I was double clicking. If I was double clicking, it was then clicking like it was like not able to hold a click. I was having struggle with games. Even just trying to play. I was like, oh, well, I'll play a CRPG like Rogue Trader, and it almost managed to screw me over in that game. Because there would be things like, oh, well, you chose this dialogue option. Well, it would be a shame if it started rapidly clicking through options. And I'm just like, oh, thank God it chose, like, not the worst options every time. So, we're going to get a feel for it and mostly determine if I need to recalibrate it all. And so far, seems fine. It's also my first wireless mouse. I have never bothered with wireless mice before, but at least with Razer, it seems like you don't have a lot of choice in the matter. Now, I could wire it in, but they have their own, like, separate dongle for it. So, I'll give it a try, at the very least, because I'm having this moment where I'm wondering if I forgot a thing in the previous room. Plus 200%. But let me just make sure I'm not incredibly forgetful and missed something in the previous room. Or if I just backed up and forgot. But no, I've never bothered with wireless mice before because they always seem like kind of a liability. Oh well, you're gonna forget to charge it, or it's gonna get just a lot of different things. Like I'm always afraid I'm gonna forget to charge it, or I'm gonna forget to or it's gonna like lose signal for some reason, because I think I'm someone who gets stuck on that. Yep. Sorry, my phone seems to be going off. That was my alarm. And that was my thing too, is I was kind of worried about it being for gaming, but I know so many people who use them that I'm giving it a shot, and primarily because I've had good luck, at least, with what was it called? The Xbox Elite controller. And I think the primary reason that kind of stopped being a problem for me is because that one has a wireless charging station. And I realized that the wireless charging station kind of ensures that I'm going to keep it charged, because you don't have to think about, like, plugging something in then. You just kind of set it on the station when you're not using it, and kind of getting into that habit's a lot, like, easier than going out of the way to, like, go find the cord because it probably fell behind your computer. All that stuff. Worst case, though, if I really have too much trouble with the wireless, I can just plug this thing in. So, the option exists. Now, unfortunately, I did find out that the wireless charging station doesn't come with this, so I had to order that separately. But, things happen. But yeah, I don't know. When it comes to kind of wireless stuff, I've always been wary about it, and I think a lot of my wariness is, you know, because I dealt with like the earlier version of the technology. Like, I used to not even be all that into the idea of like SSD drives, because it was like, oh well, they have these limited, limited write times. It's gonna be such a problem. You don't even think about that anymore. It's not even really a problem. Oh, let's take a curse scroll. Huh. Well, alright then. Now, the fun part is I can't remember, I can't remember what my DPI settings were, so we're gonna go through it and figure out if I managed to get this close enough. That's double damage. I guess the game's forcing me into a grenade build this point. Yeah, it's kind of a hard mindset to get out of with that stuff. Like, as it is, like, I'll run into certain new technologies and I'll just kind of not really think much about them at the time. I think a great example of that is... Jeez, it had to be one of these guys. I think it was wireless charging is probably one of the biggest ones, because in the regards to my phone, can't be apt to use it, but that's because I found the problem with that technology is you have a phone case, and if you buy a phone case that's actually capable of working with wireless charging, then it's kind of worthless as a phone case because it's basically made of paper and not actually sturdy at all. Oh, I forgot. These guys are annoying. Oh, what's up, dude? But, you know, for little things like, hey, I only, you know, if I'm not at the computer, it can be charging. Or, you know, same thing with the controller. Like, if I'm not playing a game that's, you know, controller-oriented, it does have to be on. I'm mostly just kind of glad that this thing has a wireless, its own like separate wireless dongle for it, because usually then it's got a more stable connection than Bluetooth, because man, Bluetooth is a finicky beast. Yeah, I think when it comes to wireless stuff too, the biggest one I've always kind of run into was wireless headsets were another one, and I kind of got converted when I went to... Oh, I can't think of the name of it. Really, another one of these? Oh, it's better than the current one I have. But... no, like wireless headsets, I've kind of become a converted on, because I think Give me a second. I don't think they have their logo on this. I think it's Audi's, the Maxwell line of them. So I guess for a bit of a tangent, I kind of became a big fan of their, what do they call it? It's like planar magnetic. I don't know. It's a special type of like thing that they use for audio, and it makes audio sound so much cleaner. And hilariously, they have it on a pair of audio headphones, and it has its own special like wireless dongle specifically to get the best connection. Oh, let's go with crit multiplier. And I was like, but that's going to be terrible. And if it was Bluetooth, it would be. But it actually became pretty good for this stuff. And I've been really big fan of this headset ever since. As mild detail is I don't have the best of hearing. Like, I'm not deaf by any measure, but I got old tinnitus and all that stuff, and so I tend to like to go for the cleanest audio I can, because otherwise it sounds very muddied to me. So I kind of became like a very roundabout audiophile of, well, I guess I need to get the best audio I can so I can hear this like with any amount of clarity. Wait, I should have a thing for this. I have a real guy for this. Let's go with this guy. Oh, I will say I've had my moments of forgetting to plug in my headset, but that is because that's the only one that isn't, you know, got wireless charging. But that's mostly because there's not really a reasonable place to charge it at. But so it's not perfect, but I only have to remember to plug it in every like 2 days, and I feel like if you're forgetting every 2 days or so, then that's kind of on you at that point. Like, plug it in, like it lasts the whole 2 days without a problem. I do like refreshing things. Actually, let's go battle nature. That way when things merge up on me, I'm not dying. Let's refresh. First option was better. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's why I end up buying a really long cable, so if that does happen, it doesn't really bother me at all. And I actually have it on a separate power charger, so that way I don't have to deal with the fact that it will try to like hook into the computer, because once again, it supports the ability to just be a plugged-in headset, But, you know, if you actually plug it into the computer itself, it's not going to suddenly sit there and go, oh, well, you clearly want to use it in wired mode. And when it comes to audio, a lot of programs get confused when you do that, so I tend to just have it on a separate, like, you know, power plug. It's very weird kind of looking back and just thinking about the fact that everything is just, it used to be batteries, replacements everywhere, and now we're just using USB for everything. And it's not that I miss the batteries, it's now far more tedious whenever I've run into that. But no, when it comes to the plugging it in, it's hard to explain it, but the best way I can put it is it's just something with each manufacturer behaves it a bit differently. So some of them will very seamlessly transition over to going, oh, okay, well, it's still the same device. This one, whenever it tries to connect up to its dongle, it feels like it treats it as a completely separate device when that happens, which usually results in it having some sort of mix-up. And it's always an application to application thing. Some of them will handle it very cleanly, and I've watched other times where it's like, oh, Discord just decided it really wants to use your monitor right now for outputs, even though you disabled those 7 times before that. And maybe I'm really just complaining about Windows at this point. It's always hard to... It's never consistent because some things will stick with it and they will handle it gracefully, and certain applications will have different problems. Now, and when it comes to things changing, I have the funny part where I will sound far older than I am, primarily due to the fact that I kind of... My family grew up around, you know, garage sales and rummage sales a lot, so we kind of had the problem of... we're working on very old, very cheap things. And so, you know... it's really funny listening to people talk about, man, kids don't know what it's like. We didn't have remotes, and I was just thinking like, yeah, I remember my first TV. It also only had dials. And, you know, it had the 2 separate dials, and it had the antenna. And that wasn't exactly like that was technology of the time. It was just, you know, somebody was selling it at a rummage sale for like $2, so we picked it up. That's not the worst. I think I've maybe have done this a few too many times. All right, what do I want to pick up and what do I want to drop? You can go and... yeah, let's go with that one. And then... after reloading, and then... I'm never going to use a sniper. Lower the enemy's HP, the higher damage deal. One's always okay. My first couple times playing that level, I definitely got hit a lot of times. Even better is like if you don't know that hidden chest is at the end, you just won't need it. But you then very quickly realize that, oh, you can actually squeeze between them, and normally you just won't know that the first couple times because you're going to assume that your model just can't fit through there. And it's a lot nicer if you play this game in multiplayer because people will be able to pick you up if something goes wrong. Point, there's not really as you could try these things out a lot easier. Man, this fight is way more of a menace in Reincarnation 9. Yeah, I don't think they ever have any plans to do VR stuff with it. Would be interesting to try out. I feel like the biggest problem right now is the more just dodging mechanics wouldn't work very well in VR. Not for any like particular reason, it's just that most VR games don't know how to do like player movement very well. And more importantly, a lot of them like to do the cheaty method of, oh, we're just gonna teleport you around because too many people get motion sickness from it. And I find a lot of people who have motion sickness problems are usually the same people who can't even really look at their phone while in a car. And it's hard to tell how widespread of a problem that is because it's not like VR is being picked up very quickly. Ooh, lightning ball on crit. Healer, nah. Take one of those and one of those. Got stack of state. And yeah, I'm thankfully not one of the people who has issues with VR stuff. It did take some getting used to, I'm not gonna lie. I think the weirdest one to do it with was, yeah, let's go with that one. Phasmophobia. I played that one in VR, and you could just do full walk around mode. And you do have to kind of like, I almost lost my balance at the first time doing it, but it didn't take long for that to not be a problem. They seem like the best options. Ooh, Scroll Master. Ah, third time unlucky. How dare you do this to me, game? No, which one did that get? Oh boy, Wicked Power. Weapon and skill damage plus 60%. Yeah. And it's, you know, positionally accurate because Gato is, you know, to that side of me currently. He's, napping on our little tree. Actually, I have another toggle. Let me turn him on real fast. There we go. And there's Nimbus. The new little kitten around the house. He's not currently in the room, so I haven't been toggling him on as much. Him and Gato are sort of playing and sort of still not really getting along, so. Worst part is I think Gato is attempting to play with the cat, but been having the issue that he's kind of a sore loser. She'll basically catch him, corner him, and then she won't even really attack him, but he will start loudly meowing as if he's being murdered. And she just kind of sits there looking at him, and then like will maybe bop him on the head with just her paw. No claws or anything, just like bop him on the head once and then leave. As, on more than one occasion, I'll just hear the sounds, sounds of distressed cats. Look over and find out literally nothing's happening, which is, to be expected from cats. It's just more funny that it's coming from him because Gato's kind of the drama queen of the house. I love this execute. It makes things so much less tedious. Oh, that one's basically useless for me. I may need to change the scroll. Put it on this like ultra sensitive mode where you can get really detailed into it, but if I move it too fast, it just cycles around the second time. That's not even really a problem with the mouse. I just was like, oh, this is great for web pages. Unfortunately, it's useless for games. Oh, nope. Bad. Nope, no flamethrower in the face. Okay. You know what? Let's try that. Not the best roll. Yeah, thanks for hanging out in the chat and just responding on things. It's a lot easier to kind of keep momentum on the stream going when there's someone actually chatting along, because there's a limit to what one can just kind of yap about all by themselves. Yeah, if you haven't played this game before, it's called Gunfire Reborn, and it's a lot of fun. I actually found out about it when let's go with this one. When we were playing Risk of Rain 2, and I was trying to look up something. I don't remember the exact detail. But it was for a game. It was for something regarding that game, and we were kind of a little disappointed in how that game turned out. I know a lot of people like it, but I don't know, something about it just didn't really feel right when it got transferred from its 2D version to its 3D counterpart. I forgot I had cooldown on that. Oh, that's gonna be annoying. But yeah, some guy, it was just some random guy, was like, yeah, if you like Risk of Rain 2, though, you should check out this. And I looked at it and I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. And I played it. And the worst part is trying to get other people to play this is very difficult, because the first thing I can really say, and if you've ever played a Borderlands game, you kind of see the similarities as you go, well, it's kind of Borderlands-esque. Because it's got the same elemental system, fire against health, lightning against shields, that's corrosive against armor. And it's just like, okay, this is very simple stuff. You know, it's got the elemental effect chances. You know, it's a bunch of randomized guns. You got your ultimates, you got your, you know, we'll call them skill trees, but being that it's a roguelite, it's gonna have more, you know, RNG to that. You don't really get to pick your talents. But, like, trying to explain that to people, you know, a lot of people are gonna put off, especially if they don't like Borderlands. And unfortunately, like, the thing is that that's about where the similarities end. After that point, it's very much its own game. I'm not gonna say it doesn't take some inspirations. Like, there's literally a character who just has the gun-zerking ability from Borderlands 2, but I mean, it's not like it's a complicated concept of guy is able to wield 2 guns on, you know, on cooldown. Oh, jeez. There we go. I'm being slowed down by all this corrosive. Okay. That's fair. It's one of those things where, you know, at the end of the day, it's a roguelite, so if you're not really into that sort of style, it's gonna that's gonna be a thing. But then after that, it's, well, do you like, I think this one's got a little less, like, RNG behind it to a certain degree. Like, there's definitely always, like, this level RNG, but I guess it doesn't feel as reliant on good luck to get a run going. Like, you will have bad runs. That is just a given. It's a nature of the beast. But I don't think it's like, oh, you're waiting for a good run. You're just gonna go, wow, that was a particularly bad run, and then the rest of your runs will be fine to hilariously good. And some of that just comes down to, you know, as long as you're decent at first-person shooters, you'll be fine. I'm particularly good, like just decent, because at the end of the day, you know, it's RPG-esque for how you're playing it. So there's a lot of characters that can have abilities or play styles that will make up for any sort of lacking skill. I mean, there's some characters that are so built around their skill sets, you may never fire a gun your whole time playing. And, you know, for some people that works well. Other people, it's like, oh, well, I want to play the character that's all about, you know, shooting enemies and getting crits and all that stuff. And it's like, well, okay, well, there's a character for that. So if I have to have a single complaint about the game, is that the first character you unlock, if you don't understand the game very well, he's not very good. And, like, he has amazing potential as a character, and unfortunately, but if, you know, he's probably the least consistent of the characters. So, and then you'll unlock other characters and you'll have more consistent runs. And then once you kind of learn the game a bit more, you'll be able to, you know, get more consistent runs with that character. Yeah, I feel like there's been a more of a trend recently of a lot of roguelites kind of going for more of the, you know, you can outskill the luck to a degree. I think for a little period there was definitely some that was just, you could very easily end up with no-win scenarios, and for some people that's fun and its own thing to have fun with. But then, you know, for certain types of games, it's like it doesn't, you know, for certain types of formula it doesn't work as well. And I feel like you know, a couple good examples are like, you know, Hades did that pretty well as well. Like, if I have to point to one that probably felt the worst for it was, at least for me, was Slay the Spire, and I've never gotten back to that game. And it's primarily because I played as the a run or two as the Bulwark. I started unlocking cards, and the game got way harder because the objectively best build for the character is unlocked at the start, and every single other card you unlock just feels so much worse. And if you're not prepared for it to not really give you a coherent deck, you know, you'll potentially have a very bad time. And this is just a nuts amount of enemies. Okay. We finally whittled it down a bit more. If I hadn't worked, gotten myself some buffs to get up to high damage reduction, that would have been a lot deadlier. Well, lightning shard isn't the worst. Well, and I think if you ever try out this game, oh geez, a thing to be aware of is that what you're seeing right now is not the early game. The game kind of hands the game to you a little bit more in pieces. So, like, the idea of going into that side room that I was just in to get that extra scroll, oh geez. And I'll slow down super hard there. Oh, that's my one res for the run. But the one thing is that your character is going to have to unlock different things, like those side rooms of vaults. Yeah, that's not really a thing, which means you're not going to have as many scrolls. You have to unlock a number of them by doing certain runs. Some of the side characters, minus the DLC, of course, aren't there from, you know, moment one. End of that run. There is so much corrosive going on there. Alright, let's try that again. But like, the biggest thing is, like, the game doesn't even really start until you hit the reincarnation difficulties, because, like, this guy right here, the spiritual guy, he can give you a ton of very unique abilities, especially ones that modify how the base character works pretty heavily. Well, let's try... No. You know, let's go ultimate firearm. There's certain options that, and these are terrible options. All right, train of thought. Oh yeah, there's certain, like, gameplay elements like that that don't exist. The trainer who that gives you side tasks to do to give you extra buffs throughout the run. The entire concept of the enhanced occult scrolls is just not there in the base game. Enhanced weapons aren't a thing. It's a ton of really, really fun and neat mechanics, but you have to kind of, you know, get through the earlier difficulties and get some of your unlocks to begin with before you can play that. Oh, it's a fierce one. Yeah, I'll give the game devs credit. They're constantly adding new stuff. Like this little guy following me out around here too. He's part of their season things where they basically add in like new mechanics and game modes to play with, and along with some like cosmetics and unlocks. It's, you know, just a free update that they do once in a while, usually accompanied by like some DLC that adds new characters. But the fun part about the season content is that you can just pick it up, play it, and even if you don't complete it, they'll let you use your spirit essence, the stuff you get for completing the run, to buy out the cosmetics and stuff. So there's no FOMO involved with it. There's nothing like time sensitive. It's just that if you do it during it, you don't have to buy it. It just unlocks it for you. And otherwise, the main benefit to the whole system is that it's just something fun to do. So you can actually play. You can even go back and play some of the previous seasons, because we're on the 3rd season of like stuff. So this time they tried to do summons. The other one, it was like you had a gadget you could play with. Another one had like these weird elemental things. And I will say each one usually has a very humorous interaction with one specific character. This is probably the one that doesn't have anything that has any sort of like weird character specific interactions, because it's just very generic stuff. I think my favorite one with it was the first one they did, just because there's a character whose entire thing is that he can go up and like do these attacks, and it's meant to be a finisher, and it's really, you know, it's a really cool skill. Oh, sorry, my power almost went out there for a second. Thankfully, the internet, the computer, and a few other things are all on battery backup, so I thankfully did not take the stream down. Not sure what that was about, though. But yeah, no, it was really funny, though, because it's a melee move, and one of the base abilities for it, from one of the season events, gave you a special ability that would launch it at enemies. That's a terrible time to get killed. The best part too, this would be a lot easier if I was just playing one difficulty down, because the difference between Reincarnation 8 and Reincarnation 9 is a lot. End of that run. That's a bummer. Actually, one of the things is to play on one of the different modes, so I can actually show that off. Arcane Ascensions, and then I need to play on him. Actually show this one off because it's very humorous. So you take one of these. This one does elemental pulses. This one makes it so you put a lightning bolt out when you dash. And this one, you have a thorny spine that just shoots out and hits things as you go. Nah. All or nothing. Consume all armor when hitting That one's not terrible. Weapon? Nah. Ah, here we go. Guess we're going with that one. Those are terrible options. Now, this game categorizes weapons, and I think my favorite one so far is the spear. You'll never guess what it's categorized as. If you guess pistol, you must have been cheating. Nope. The game has to categorize the weapons differently, and it's mostly for the fact that certain things will give you bonuses for using pistols or launchers or other stuff, or snipers, and it's mostly just kind of a mechanic so things can properly work. Ooh, I could go for cleave or more armor. Let's go with the cleave. I want the cleave. But yeah, as a result, when they make these kind of weird weapons like this, they kind of got to shove them in a weird category because otherwise it's just not going to work. Because there's several characters that doesn't really that just suddenly their entire kit would turn off if like they had a weapon and it was the only weapon of its type. Heck, the most recent update is probably the last time they've ever put in a new weapon type, which was the staves. And they've only had 2 of them so far, but they're all about like using your actual skills with your from your character rather than focusing on weapons as much. And so they're meant to be kind of a different way to play, especially for the characters that just kind of sit there and ignore guns the entire run. That said, I don't think the skill characters really needed any help, but now, this one's the funniest for a couple of characters because they specifically get bonuses for using pistols. Now, with the special right-click ability of this weapon, you call all the spears back to you, but they go through whoever you're pointing at. So it's a very funny way to throw out, like, 10 spears. They're sitting there, and you right click and they're like, well, what if they just went through the head of that guy? Dang. Scoop. And go. Ah, I got clipped by it. And... Damn, I was really hoping the AoE was gonna count for this guy. Can he? Okay. They were getting caught in a very weird spot up there, but they weren't counting as hitting him, so they were just stopping short of him. And they spin in place when you put it. Oh, gotta make me. Oh, these are such good options. Don't do this to me, game. I'm taking the paranormality. Oh, no, I'm just kicking you. Each hit with cleave restores 10% armor and minus 1 second cooldown. Yeah. This character's a lot of fun. Very early on, I would have argued that he was one of the strongest characters because he was incredibly defensive. As the new difficulties have come out, not as true anymore. He's still solid, but you gotta play him like with a modicum of intelligence. Let's go with that one, that one. The roll? That's not terrible. We're gonna go with this. Now, the funniest part is he's a melee character, so you would think, like, he would work with the melee weapons. Instead, he's a shotgun character. Because he's all about high projectile count weapons. And this is because he gets, he is the only character that uses armor. Everyone else has got shields, and he uses armor. And so for every hit, he gets a point of armor back. And he even has something where it's like, oh, well, if you hit him with this many projectiles, you get an extra bonus. Crit multiple, nah. Weakness expose, weakness expose. Yeah, why not? Ooh, peddler. I'm gonna refresh. That's not bad. That's also pretty good. But alright. My greed almost killed me there, but that was only almost. Let's go. Airbag? That's literally useless. Oh, so much for that then. Alright, ooh, which one do we want to go with? Yeah, let's do the extra damage when I'm closer to enemies. If I got something that's not entirely leap dependent. I've been playing on too many other characters. I keep trying to use my Q from a distance and remembering that's not going to work. Corrosion enthusiast. That won't kill me later. Okay. Now for the ultimate trick. I can't spend HP to get this chest. Just gonna throw that chest on the ground, spend my HP, and now I'm back at 1. Yeah. Well, not only that, but his E restores your armor. So that's kind of the big mechanic there. Oh, he's gonna blow up. Oh, jeez. Alright, I have to throw this on the floor. This is actually getting me killed. Not only that, but I have a mechanic right now where I burn all... I picked up at the beginning where I burn all of my armor on a kick. Oh, this is an elite match. So, yep, spinny guy. Yeah, otherwise this carrot, oh, okay, so let me explain real fast. Corrosion Enthusiast is whenever you cause corrosion effect to the enemy, you also will end up in corrosion effect. Now, there's ways to ignore the penalties of corrosion, but the primary penalty of it is you get your movement speed severely cut. Corrosion Enthusiast gives you I think it gives you a little bit of damage reduction and a small movement speed boost for being a corrosion effect. So the idea is that, you know, the benefits are supposed to outweigh the penalties, but without enough things to mitigate the movement speed penalty, especially on a guy like that, you're gonna be feeling it. All right, this makes me take more damage if I'm closer, so we're just gonna sell that. And so it's actually a really good one. Let's read real fast. Yeah, 10% damage resistance and 40% movement speed. And you would think that that's really good, but the problem is the even a 10% penalty from the normal corrosion it feels bad. It feels bad when you're desperately trying to get out of the way of all the bullets. Extra surprise, triple comeback. Nope. We're gonna take the Jade. For every 24 spines generated, restore 6 uses of secondary skill and gain a temporary use of primary skill. That is wonderful. And let's see, so I can show my cursor here. So this little thing in the corner here, let's make sure my cursor is actually showing up. Yeah. So this little thorn thing, this automatically shoots out and it does corrosion damage. And so it was shooting out, automatically hitting enemies, and then forcing me to have to deal with the corrosion enthusiast effect, even if I didn't want to. And it was just poor timing. Really? You weren't low enough health for that? Let's just get over here. Guys are so tedious. The game likes to put you in, you know, tight corridors with those, and then go, all right, now if you hit their shield, bad things will happen. And they don't take any splash damage in this difficulty. Because normally you could cheese them by just hitting them with skill damage and usually count. Where'd you come from? Get up. Shield and die. Yeah. The kick combo feels really fun. You just got to be careful because obviously you don't want to dive into 30 enemies and not really have an escape plan, as I've seen many people try to do when playing with this characters, because they'll think, oh well, I'm really tanky. I get this borderline full heal if you hit enough enemies with it, and for some reason it counts if you hit there. Yeah, the archers aren't very smart. They get around this by being kind of BS. Displacious range, AoE, or plus 200% leap damage. Let's go with that one. They are a little cheaty because they have their bullets can arc around and hit you. So if you're, trying to get around that, they'll just shoot you. And so if you're not far enough behind cover or just not moving fast enough, it can get you. Oh, let's see. Fire damage? Nah. I like this one, the overloading. And movement speed increases that. Also gives me more if I'm using a pistol. I don't know if I'll be using a pistol, but... that one's actually useful to me now. I hate that. Let's see. Now, let's just get rid of these two. I don't really see a huge need for them. Bullet light. Yeah, the archers are very annoying in this game until you kind of get used to them. Because, you're expecting to just be able to kind of sidestep their nonsense, and then suddenly you're like, hey, what the hell's going on here? Why am I getting my butt kicked by this guy? Oh, I kind of forgot the most important detail about this character, and it's kind of bustedly strong. He's immune to damage while he's jumping. Only during the jump, though. So you just kind of use him to get out of stuff. Ow. Well, so much for that. I got into a bad corner there. Yeah, even though I got the bonus for it, I'm still going to do one more of this season because I want to get that one going. Then I'll switch back to the current season. Health booster, compressor. Nah. Ah, here we go. Cleave instantly kills normal/elite monsters with elite monsters with less than 25% HP and bosses with 15% or less. 30% cleave damage for every remaining charge of cleave. That was the one I was looking for last time, and it just didn't want to give me. It turns cleave into a proper execute. It already sort of is. And these guys are low enough HP that I can just kill them outright. Now this is important because this character has a stacker skill that if I'm lucky I will get. In which for every enemy you've killed with cleave, you will automatically, you will get a stacking bonus to your base cleave damage. And It's a little strong. I actually had to nerf him at one point because he had an ability at one point that made it so the end of your kick, you would use your cleave. This had some very silly consequences. Because you would just run into there, kick them, and then the entire wave of enemies would die instantaneously, and you'd get a massive damage boost. Permanent damage boost, no less. There we go. Restore use of cleave upon killing an enemy with cleave. Perfect. I did not have that last time, and I was feeling it. Not really need to bother with that guy. Oh yeah, that's a start. The base ability is really strong. Plus 100% base cleave damage and cleave AoE. Obviously the plus 100%. The reason why this is so strong to start with is because this gives me plus 30% cleave damage for every remaining charge of cleave. So as long as I keep my cleaves stacked up, which I have, 11 right now. So I use 11, I'm getting a 300% damage boost already. And that's as if I had just, buffed up automatically. And so I'm able to just kind of walk up to enemies, go, that's neat, slice. Let's just do that. You see how I didn't take any damage there? And that was just because because I was just immune during the jump. This is actually vital for certain bosses. Like, you could beat the bosses normally, but it is, more funny because you could just ignore several of their mechanics. Oh, stop jittering in place up there, guy. There we go. If I were to say you anything, it's more that you're going to feel the let's go with the Ascension. 20% chance to use the second. Here it is. When your 30 spikes hit, you have a chance to use a secondary skill. This is now going to launch my cleave at enemies from a distance. I will walk into a room and watch things die. And the chance increases to 60% and costs secondary skill uses if I'm above 60% capacity. This is where it gets really dumb. This is what I was talking about. So we're gonna watch some silliness happen now. Yeah, so that suddenly became a lot stronger as that's just launching those at enemies. Now let's pick up a new weapon finally. The only thing annoying in this difficulty is those exploding guys throw their little explodey box heads at you. And so when you kill them, if you're in close range, you need to get out of there immediately. Otherwise, it's gonna explode in your face. And they deal some pretty good damage. Now let's go max shield armor. Let's see. If my armor breaks, I get this. Let's just go with some leap cooldown. No matter what, leap, even if you're going for a cleave build, leap never really leaves your sphere of things you're focusing on because, you know, it's a gap closer for starters. And then, even if it's not a gap closer, it's just the fact that it's your primary mode of healing. Oh, geez. That was a lot of explosions. Large ammo. Fortune challenge. I love that one. It turns my next 4 scroll pickups into curiosity boxes. Which for me means I get anywhere from 1 to 3 scrolls per pickup. Completely random, but in this game, quantity is usually still good. Oh, the other one was a arcane thing, which was for this season. So it could have upgraded my thorns, but it wasn't even a rare one, so it meant that it didn't even have a good chance of being a good one. So I'd have had a single choice, and it would probably been a lower quality one. I almost thought about it, though. It's still tempting because it could have been what I needed. Alright, these horse heads are being a pain in the butt. I guess I gotta, like, actually play the game. Yeah, except for that guy. Alright, we'll just use the number keys. Wait. Oh, you know, I forgot these guys could jump up here. Gift box. Oh, that was pretty good. Being attacked by someone still, I think. Oh. There you are. Enhanced curiosity box. I'm in. Oh, I got a curse scroll. How dare you? Yeah. It's not the worst one for me. Just, I have a lower chance of doing that, but I got enhanced enduring caster. So I do more skill damage the more total HP I have. And that's very misleading, but when they say total HP, they mean your HP plus your armor and shields. He is a robust monster. This means he has just a boring amount of HP. Come on. Swipe your shield. I had to reload there. Swipe your shield. Now, I will say a very cool effect of this game is you can use your skills while reloading, and it doesn't interrupt your reload. At least on most characters. I think there's like one scenario where I think it might, but for most characters, you specifically can use your grenades and stuff while reloading. And so, yeah, it kind of reduces your downtime. And that's something you kind of have to learn, because games like Borderlands, if you use any of your side stuff, you're going to lose out. And, you know, you'll just have to reset the reload animation. Yeah, the dev team for this one seems to kind of have a general grasp on fun. I won't say they have the, you know, best grasp on balance, but sometimes fun takes precedence over balance. Finally. I'll stick with my pistol. Curiosity box, who could have guessed? Ancient timer. I think that's actually terrible for me. Minus 50 primary skill cooldown, but secondary skill will have a 3-second cooldown. No, thank you. Zip. And you're gone. Curiosity box or curiosity box? Oof. I think I'll take the curiosity box. Skill booster. Bonus movement speed. That's not... it's actually a difficult ask. I have to do it without taking damage. Oh, that's already out. Oh. I just have to not take damage 12 times, but that's already 1. I'm up to 8. I'm up to 10. Well, that'll not happen. I might be willing to do a multiplayer run. Yeah, let's go cleave. Reincarnation 8's usually the difficulty I play on, because 9's usually kind of tedious. Let's see, now I don't want to dash. Reload time. Damage to an enemy under any elemental effect. Actually, no, that's going to be on a lot. Let's go for that one. Do I take the curiosity box or the curiosity box? That's another terrible one. Go away. That one eats all my secondary skill uses. I need those. That's how I cleave. Z. Oh, that's why. So I was looking at my HP going like, what the heck just happened here? And it's... Yeah, this is one of the guys I was talking about. If you time it right. You can actually jump through those lasers. Ouch. Okay. That was a bad series of things. I was too close for that move, in which you have to move forward if you want to properly. Yeah, well, that part didn't matter. Ooh, deadly counter. Deal crits now whenever I get hit. All right. 5 thorny spine, 20% chance thorny spines when using secondary skill. For every 24 thorns, restore 6 uses a secondary skill. I'm usually good on secondary, so let's go with this one to generate more thorns. Gotta get them stuck in a loop. Yeah, more leap damage is always good. We're just gonna keep taking the curses anytime they pop up. Because if you're not familiar with this screen, it's you get a scroll, but the enemies get a buff based on what scroll you picked up. And this can generally... This one's the worst. Never pick up Spirit Phalanx because it means that you can only deal 14% of their max HP per hit. And man, if you want to suffer, that's a pick. Let's try capacity overdraft. Restoring or losing HP within the last 10 seconds increases match hour, but the amount of HP change. Restoring and losing armor increases weapon and skill damage. Or I can have more skill damage for every crit multiplier. Nope, I'm taking Fake Death. Fake Death is basically fight for your life mode from Borderlands. You fall down. Oh, thank God I got enough kills on that one. I did not fail that task. I don't want to fight you, arsonist. Go away. Ow. There's a tornado behind me. Oh god, those are my bane. Anything with the corrosive tag on them are just terrible. Wind Rider. Yeah, I might as well. Boy, elite evasion. Oh, why'd it have to be you? Why'd it have to be you, all the enemies? My literal ultimate bane. Not only is he, you know, one of the flamethrower guys, he's the corrosive flamethrower guy. Which means if I get touched, it's gonna be bad. Why, you have to be corrosive too. Oh god, I can't see anything. Oh, I survived. Somehow. Triple comeback, okay. Holy crap. Get out of this corner. Holy crap, I can't see anything. Okay, I need to get up to this thing. That's where I was going for. I managed to kill the, jeez. I managed to kill the sniper, which got me the fake death. I don't know what got me the second fake death, but... Oh! Okay. That was horrible. I got so screwed in the corner over there. If I did not pick up fake death there, and then also have a charge of what do you call it? The triple comeback, I legitimately was just dead there. This is some absolute nonsense here. I am out of ammo. Good. I just don't deal any damage to these guys. Man. That also sucked, but not as much. I mean, this basically guarantees I'll be up on my cleave uses at least. And the game's being stingy. It's not giving my damages stacker. Yeah, let's sell that. I guess more importantly, that gave me more capacity, which gives me more damage. Yep. Golden Goblet. Minus 20% leap cooldown. Yeah, let's go with that. Ooh. Now it's a 30% chance to use it. Man, I'm just not particularly getting any good weapons, though. Because I still need a backup plan for whenever they can't just rush in there. Oh, new area. The true fly swatting experience. Ooh, that's not a terrible one. I will say also some of the guns in this game are particularly goofy. It's just like, oh, what's this one? It's just some lizard I found on the side of the road. Ooh, I hope it's a new one. Yeah! This was actually kind of fun. You gotta play around the hook lines. And you gotta sort of dodge those boulders. And you gotta go the normal path, or a super secret passage. Which is timed, but... Oh. Ah! I went the wrong way. And there we go. And that's how you get the bonus chest for this one. That's the normal chest down there. The good and evil, advanced depot. Let's go with the jade. Plus 10 thorny spines, 30% chance to generate thorns when using secondary. Wonderful. Speedy pursuit, lucky shot after dashing. Oh. I was looking at loot and almost got shot a couple times there. Guess we're... Ooh. Fireball and a crit. I always love those ones where they'll create like an elemental orb of some side on a crit. And those usually end up being really strong because it lets you kind of stack up on elemental effects. Alright, I'm gonna have to take the maxed out jump. Okay. That was a little spooky for a second there. Why don't we use this one? Yeah. I mean, you can tell the thing's going to be a little strong when it doesn't even have its normal name. Like, it'll say, like, oh, this one's a fiery spear thrower. Nah, some of these are, like, corrosive, defensive, powerful monster. And monster is just, you know, all of its stats are, you know, cranked up. Defensive, obviously, kind of speaks for itself. And powerful is just like, oh, it also deals more damage. It might have some more HP too. I mean, and they're already a tanky enemy, so... I'm having this moment where I can't remember. Did I see a shopkeep around here? I don't think I did. But we're gonna take a quick look. Because sometimes they like to hide. Nope, I don't see anything. Alright, moving on. Ow. Well, so much for that. Oh, jeez. That was a really strong run, and then it kind of fell off. All right, let's switch back to the other one. All right, let me double check something. Oh, that's not it. Okay, so I can do it this way. All right, I'm gonna put this in the stream there. If anybody wants to join in, you can put this squad ID in here, and people can join in. I don't know if that same guy was there, but I will give it a couple minutes for him to come back if he wants to join. Otherwise, we'll just go back to... no, I haven't played this guy in a while. So. I don't know if he's still around or not. The Avatar. It's something I eventually want to get replaced, but it is supposed to be, it's something I generated up based on a thing to make something look kind of like something from Monster Hunter. And so Xenagri was kind of me playing around with Xenogre. And so I kind of wanted a character that had like this sort of, you know, Xenogre vibe to it, and it didn't really get that close, honestly, because like the horns are wrong and stuff like that. But it was like, this looks decent enough, and I kind of like ran with it because it's not like I can really use the actual design of Xenogre. So it was one of those things where that's kind of what I went with, and stuck with. Oh, Xenogre is. You know, let's just... I think I have a picture of it. Let me... and put it here up on the stream. Image. Let's see if I could find it. I have one saved. Or not. Alright, let's try... I'll just... Oh, that's where I had it saved. It was in my downloads folder. Silly me, putting it in places that I could find later. So, that's the Nogre. It's from Monster Hunter. It's, something I It's kind of a fun monster. I like the aesthetic of it, though. It is a very hilarious monster in that its primary power is that it has fleas. It's not really what it is, but its entire thing is that it has this symbiotic relationship with these lightning bugs that that then proceed to grant it the ability of electric powers, and it's kind of silly. And it's usually a lot of fun to fight. It's everyone all kinds of calls it the lightning doggo. So, well, I don't think they're coming back, or they might have timed out by now. So I think I'm going to get, I guess, get going on this then. 3, 2, 1. But yeah, it's I'm actually have a couple artists in mind that I was thinking about contacting, getting more of a finalized version of it. Reset. Nah. Yeah, here we go. Explosive hand. Yeah, it's fair. I was just given the option because a few times people have asked, and it doesn't look like they stuck around long enough. So maybe one of these days I'll make that just kind of the stream title, like, you know, inform people ahead of time, like, hey, invite people in and do it. It's more convenient that you can do it by ID like that, so I don't have to, you know, add a bunch of random people to the Steam, Steam and stuff like that. I could just put the squad ID in there, which is very convenient. It's not really like a huge problem with it. It's just mostly I always hate having to go through years later and like doing basically a Steam friends list cleanup, where it's like, oh well, and it's like, well, I haven't talked to this person in like 20 years, or, well, I don't think I've had Steam that long. But you know what I mean? Like, I hate having to go through and be like, well, I guess I'm just gonna clean this up because I don't even know these people anymore. So I like, you know, just keeping it to people I actually know. Corrosion enthusiast. And as long as I'm careful, it should be fine. This character is hilarious, by the way, because I've never played them the correct way. Their entire thing is they're supposed to, you know, use these cards. They're supposed to be really, you know, they like divine the future and they do stuff. It's not actually how it works. It's basically, it's a lot of RNG, but they're supposed to use their E to like launch down these like laser beams based on what stuff they drew, and it's based on like what occult scrolls they have. Instead, I play the character by throwing cards at people and making them explode like Gambit, because that's just way more fun and it's kind of funny. That's not terrible. Let's go with +4 capacity, though. Card printer. Alright. I don't think I saw a room. Go max shield. To the vault. Oh, jeez. I'm getting locked in a corner here. Yeah, it happened. I think I'll hold on to that Tempest just in case. Ah, perfect. It's one of the strongest abilities he's got. There's a chance that you'll just be immune to damage for a shot. Sometimes that's all you need, is to be immune to damage for one shot. 20 enemies with secondary skill kills. Yeah, I can do that. That one's done. Now I can actually shoot at him. Oh god. Oh, proper spirit egg. That means... yeah. Perfect. Alright, ooh, this is the good one. Card Storm. Chance to summon 3 cards, shoot, consuming 25% of magazine, cash, and shoot 1 holding card and reset the accumulation. Oh, God does me on at me right now. You want something? Probably food. It's not quite our dinner time yet. 3 cards, 1 inch after a shot hits. Yeah, we're doing that one. The hell is a very middle of the road gun for me. It kind of has some advantages, but if I were to really say anything about it, it's mostly the fact that it's kind of shows the problems when you're dealing with a horde of enemies when using what is effectively a pump shotgun, because it's really strong and then you have to reload it. Thankfully this one seems to roll with one of the reload speed boosters, because otherwise it's generally just awful. You'll just be sitting there going, yeah, let me get my 700 of these in there. That's not the exaggeration. I've had one where this thing had a capacity of about 100. You basically never stopped reloading. You just would finish a fight and go back to reloading between fights. Walking to the next room, you're reloading. Alright. Ow! That guy is just the worst if you don't have high damage early on. I don't probably have to hold on to any of these. I think I'll switch to someone a little bit better. Like, these guys are gonna be good because if you have them early on, they don't actually get any of their bonuses. I'll just stay with the same guy. Nah. That's not gonna give it to me, is it? You're gonna be a pain in my butt, aren't you? Explosive hand, there it is. I'm wasting so much essence on that. I don't really need essence, but I'm still wasting a lot of it. Alright. I think it should be a little better having an actual meat shield. Ooh, phantom skin that early? Might actually have some, like, defense behind me now. These are terrible. Let's go with the capacity. That's still useful for later. Alright. I'm gonna step away for just a minute. Because Gato clearly wants something. So I will be right back. Should only be like a minute or two. Let me put up my be right back message. Okay, that's all right. As it must have been her, it was close enough to dinner time, so she was getting very impatient. The best part, she's actually on an automatic feeder, so it's not like the time has changed at all, but that doesn't stop her from being, you know, worried that it won't happen this day. Surprise bonus. Oh, sweet. 15% chance to deal an extra 100% extra damage on any skill, including these cards. Anybody down? Oh, good thing I checked. Enhance occult scroll. Eh. No, that's terrible. Sure, why not? Can't be too picky. I'm throwing away my spirit essence, but still, I don't want to take just terrible options. Elemental bestowment. Sure. And bullet light. We'll stick with what we got for weapons. Base card damage. I'll take that. Nothing else? Let's go. Snow boots and ninja's discipline. Not bad. Let's try a Sunder. I have not given this weapon a chance in a long time. That's not the worst. Ooh, what do you got? Defeat assists 3 enemies within 5 seconds. Okay. Ah, that's done. All right. card storm again. This is a terrible weapon for this room. For context, this room turns all these petrified enemies into not so petrified enemies. And he's just having a time over here. Okay. Going in alone. But yeah, so this weapon hits at a very wide arc. If I touch any of these enemies, they unfreeze, which is not good for me. I think I might have to just... Okay. That worked out. I could have probably freed him by, like, basically, like, unfreezing the guy he was stuck on, but he'd already disappointed me. Come on. I had a true complaint about this one. Might be that it's just not a very good ammo capacity. Or that guy was just very durable. Oh. Got like real guys now. Well, let's go with that one. Oh, God. I don't think you could fall into those pits. That's why I was able to just kind of jump back out, but I didn't even know you could end up in that. Ooh, what you got? We'll look at that later. I hate that lightning just completely kills all momentum you have now. I think it's only on this difficulty and up. Or I think it's the reincarnation difficulty, or at least reincarnation 9. You get hit with lightning, you just stop moving, and it is awful. Enhanced curiosity box. No retreat and preemptive strike. Not terrible. We'll stick with what I got on that. Alright, do I have anything worth upgrading? %, shield armor, or I could take my chance for a random one. Let's just go with a random. Minus 400% extra large ammo when shooting with a special ammo weapon. Plus 12% lucky shot chance for each armor consumed. Plus 0.5 times crit multiplier. Actually, I forgot. There is a unique thing that this character can do. Yeah. So I can re-roll any scroll I get. That is his power. That is so much worse. Hate this one. Oh wait, actually this one... I don't understand what this one's supposed to do, because it suggests that, like, I would lose money. I'm going to hold on to this one, and then we'll just see what it is. Because, I mean, according to this one, it'll just end up at 9999. Alright, let's reset... Let's reset this one, because that one's pretty good. Yeah, let's hold on to that. Yeah, it's a very powerful ability, this character, is he just any occult scroll he gets, he can just re-roll it into a new one. There is a limiter. You can only do so many per, like, X number of stages, I think you go through. I forget the exact number, but either way, you get a less than ideal roll. You can just kind of go, well, I want that to be something else now. We're gonna jump down here. Oh god. Lost all my momentum there. Okay, he is distracted by my own guy. Stop spamming that. God dang. Well, at least he was kind enough to give me a golden goblet. Let's go with that one. Makes my gun damage a little better. Mid-air strike, thunder step. Reinforced eggshell. I guess the important detail to also add is that you always keep the same rarity when doing that. All right, I already bought that. So it always stays the same rarity when you re-roll them using this guy. So when in a situation like that, if you see a legendary you don't like, you can always re-roll it into a new legendary. This is pretty good ones. +4 card holding capacity. Let's level up card storm some more though. Okay. Nope, that's everything. Yeah, let's go with those two, and then I just do not care about Falling Star. Ah, Brutal Gloves, perfect. Brutal Gloves are great because it's just plus any damage that isn't a crit. Weapon and skill damage, and skill damage generally can't crit, so... Serve me well, Sunder. Hope for something different. Top gun? Which one was that? Apparently that was with the previous weapon. Oh, I threw away a rifle, that's why I had it. Lucky shot chance. No way out. I'm almost on that one. I only need card printer 3 up to get that. Oh. I was like, I feel like something I'm missing here. Third time unlucky. Sabotage magazine, cautious shot. 50% damage, damn. Skill freak ain't bad. 75% chance to deal 200% and 25% chance to deal 300%. Or skill damage. I forgot my own controls for a second there. Could have been worse. It's actually hoping for the coyote. Sell all that crap. Yep, let's go with skill. Excuse me. Yeah, I keep thinking I'm starting to come down with some, and randomly kind of phlegmy here and there, and we're out of the summer season, so I doubt it's any sort of allergies, though I don't really have a problem with allergies to begin with. But I assume it's the fluctuating weather. Ooh, I can upgrade something. Okay, I might check Brutal Glove, because that one's really dumb. Ooh, that is... I might take that. More Cult Scrolls. Yeah, let's go with that one. If I were to say a really silly function of this character is you can get some occult scrolls that for either downside, you know, for them to have a downside or for anti-cheat reasons, you're not allowed to discard them. But this character can discard them by just re-rolling them into a different card. Or occult scroll, I should say. Oh, I will say, as a kind of random asides, you know, kind of on the topic of roguelites, I am very much looking forward to Heroes of Hammerwatch 2. I played the heck out of the beta yesterday, or well, I guess it's not really a beta, it's just a demo, but I think for right now, it's basically their beta access for it because they are still in development. I cannot wait for that to come out. I like the Hammerwatch games. I feel like oh, there he is. I feel like out of all of them though, Hammerwatch 2 might have been the most disappointing. It feels like a very unfinished game, so getting another Heroes of Hammerwatch game, pretty good. Which one do I want? Yeah, let's go with the Rogue... Oh, wait. That was the wrong button. Rogue Arsonist. Yeah. Actually, let's merge these two. Yeah, let's go with that one. And then we're just going to sell the remainder. Got a pretty good combo so far of a actually decent weapon, and my skills are actually working. That little guy was speeding around so quickly, I didn't recognize him as my own summon for a second there. I was just dealing with a speed demon enemy I'd never seen before. Ow. Okay. Delete. I'll see how this guy is with a staff. I've never really tried a staff on this guy. Alright. Thanks for hanging out here, Akia. Or Makai. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your username. But yeah, thanks for sticking around and hanging out. Man, this one's actually really good. Yeah. Guess I'll still never find out how good that is. That's my first card printer. That's not good. That's fair. Yeah, we're gonna take an evil banishing talisman. Yeah, I haven't gone through my cult scrolls in a minute. Let's see, is there anything I don't care about? Alright, I think it's time to recycle this one. You know what? I'm looking up. What does Lucky Roulette do? That is one of those things where I think I need to figure out how that's supposed to work. Okay. The maximum amount of copper you can hold as once is restricted to blank. After leaving the side, the highest number of copper is set to block, and then the other numbers are randomly shuffled around. If you have 2640, the first highest number is resulting in 2140, remainder blah. This makes how much copper you could spend very wildly, but if used correctly, has the potential to massively increase how much you have, and then can be dropped afterwards. I don't see what the benefit is. I still don't understand. That must be like an early game thing. Like it's not really clicking with me how the heck Lucky Roulette's supposed to be good. Because reaching this much copper is not an accomplishment at this difficulty, so like the idea that that's somehow a benefit that I could limit my amount of copper. I think what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to change your current amount of copper to that. And then once you get the amount of copper you want, you dump it. But also, who cares? Because once again, like this is not a lot of copper at this tier of difficulty. Ooh, I got what I wanted. And it's an illusion. +4 effective, +4 projectiles, effective range. Each projectile on enemy has +1.2 basic weapon damage. Man, I got a really good version. This literally could only be better if it was actually elemental, but... That's fixable. Subdue. The biggest thing is every time this counts for the amount of projectiles you have. And the reason why this is important is because... Alright, let's see. Let's etch. We'll just do that for now. Does it even have a crit multiplier? It vaguely does. But yeah, it's an on-hit effect, so it's for every projectile that hits the enemy. I'll build up a meteor that will draw cards and then shoot them at the enemy, which means shotguns are amazing for it. If I were to have a single complaint with the game, is that shotguns are really, really good for the most generic of builds. It's not to say that they are the best. There's definitely better options and very specific, build ideas. But if you want just a generic, I can use this on literally anything weapon, just pick up an illusion and go. The Wild Hunt can be good, but it's definitely less reasonable to utilize, is all I can say. Why 3? Why 3 of the corrosive guys? Oh god. Like that's just mean. Nope. Not that one. Let's sell off the excess. It's an alright one. Get some shields. That was not bad at all. Yeah, I'll just take both of those. Upgrade you 3 more times and go. And he's dead. That was goofy. All right. Let's go with under control. More capacity. So this combo's pretty good. Ah, that is an absurd amount of cards. Oh, I don't care about those. Moving, the faster you move. Let's just go with that one. What's the worst that happens? Oh. Okay, you gotta, like, hold off a little bit there, guy. It's in my face before I even knew what was going on. In fact, that specific flavor of enemy is not even supposed to spawn this early. Yeah, 30% more skill damage. And I really feel like I want a movement speed increase right about now. Terrible. Actually, I can re-roll some of these. Pretty all right. Yeah, let's reset this reasonable luck. Penetration bullet. That's actually pretty good. Let's go with the normal gift box. Lightning Enthusiast. It's currently not actually good for me. It's not bad for me, but it's not good. And he is no more. Like I killed him a little too quickly there. Alright, let's see. Nah. Nope. Crap. I mean, sure. Take another one of those. Still didn't get card printer because I need that for the. Well, I guess I'm one off from more cards, and I still need to get card printer maxed out before I'm allowed to get that one up and running. Skill booster. Actually, 3.5, 3 point, and nothing with good crit multiplier. So let's sell these guys. Move on to here. And then okay, this is one of my favorite features of this guy now is if you overdraw, it makes effectively a queue of cards that will pop in. And it decays over time, so you can't just infinitely stack it up. But you can push it to some pretty silly limits over time. Good and evil, glazed sight, piercing bullet. Yeah, piercing bullet's great for this guy. If I were to say, this is probably one of the few characters that mixes skill and weapon damage pretty well. Because if you're going for the card build, you're building cards up while shooting enemies, which ends up with a very silly combination. But most characters that are that use skills are either one or the other. Like even the monkey who's all about that, his primary skill is actually all about weapon damage. It actually doesn't deal skill damage. And his offhand isn't something you're really meant to... you're not really meant to spam it. That was spooky for a second there. So you kind of end up with a lot of characters just kind of being in between and not caring about... go with you. I gotta go find a craftsman, but yeah, that's really the biggest one is by default most of the characters are kind of one or the other, with like maybe at best a splash, and this character kind of just can do both and pump both and benefit from both at all given times. I mean, unless you just somehow don't get the skill that launches your cards. But, man, that's some pretty bad luck if you never get that one. And I'm not saying that won't happen. It's still some pretty bad luck. am I getting +2 every time? I'm missing something. I don't think I got the thing that gives me potentially more. Unless I'm misremembering, maybe it is +2 at every time. I don't feel like that's right, though. He didn't even hit the floor. Flame shard, corrosion shard, point shot. It's an actually choice. I'm gonna go with corrosion shard just so I don't get screwed by corrosion. Normally I would take flame shard and just get myself a fire weapon, but it hasn't really landed out that way. Let's get rid of that one. Upgrade this real fast. Oh, that was a 5 times. I should have kept it. Too late now. That's a lightning illusion. Not quite as good as the one I have. It's pretty close. It's got one of the exclusives. Such a goofy amount of cards. Okay, then. Card printer? Plus 15% skill damage is always good. Merciless strike. Okay, never mind. For a second there, I was like, did I already have that? Card printer. No way out activated. So what does that do again? The tracking range of cards is increased to 20 meters. Dang. That is pretty good. Wait, let's just sell these guys. Wait, did I? I thought I had a different guy, but whatever. Yeah, I definitely had a different guy. I must have accidentally swapped them. Well, that'll happen sometimes. I must have misclicked. And then I nuked him. Okay, this should be a hopefully easier boss. Fire enthusiast, ammo recover. I mean... yeah, we'll go with that. I enjoy that these cards are actually ruining my ability to see anything. And it's taking up a little bit of screen real estate. Okay. Boom. It had to be that guy. Or that guy. Okay. Yeah, let's go with the reduced reload time. It's a nice double caliber. Have a shield. Sell that. Airbag's kind of funny when you have penetrating bullet. Thunderstep. I'm going to make these enemies absolutely ridiculously fast at this rate. I'm not even going to bother. Unless it had something really good there, I don't really have a reason to swap out what I got. There's a couple of, you know, spirit blessings that you just pick up the one time. And then once you're good, yeah, like the ultimate weapon is a good example of one where you just kind of, once you got the weapon you want, you don't really need it anymore. Or the one for getting an immediate spiritual blessing, or spirit link. So it's like, oh, well, you got the bonus. Paranormality, perfect. I was just thinking about that one. It's great to nuke that guy down before I have to actually deal with him. Am I really close to this? I feel like I am. Yeah, I'm one fire away from having fire enthusiasts, so I could in theory get that with Blazing Hoop. Or I could just deal some true damage and call it good. Don't really have a reason to take Fire Enthusiast when you got Paranormality. I'd probably take a Corrosion Enthusiast because I got the Shard for it. And he's dead. This character spirals into just an absolutely goofy way. Sell all that. I almost missed the chest. Anything good? A big bag of copper for all the curse scrolls I have. Dude. Not the worst. Okay, that one's actually kind of useful now. Moving off your right. Alright, moving on. Not gonna lie, I almost completely blanked that that was a an enemy that needed to be subdued, so I just saw the meter and ignored it for like a full second there, where I went, "Oh, I need to go get that guy." Oh, there's someone left still. I already got rid of this scroll. We're gonna reroll that. Sure, why not? How many of these guys? I never actually saw them spawning. I just killed one and another one appeared. Now, once again, I shouldn't have thrown that one away, but whatever. For every... Oh yeah, this one's pretty good. Every slot, plus 1.5 for every normal, rare, legendary, occult scroll. Curse scrolls grant a random bonus. I mean, I'll take some more damage. Now, I clearly don't have enough yet. Oh. Energy sandals ahoy. Okay. Time for the boss. Thank God it's not the gluttony boss. He's so boring. Okay. Yes, I know I shouldn't have picked that up. But I should do this. Oh. Yeah, fortune challenge. I just forgot to do that before going in. Alright, I think I need to hit him first. And he's dead. Curiosity box. It was all worth it. And I just only lost 200 soul essence doing that. I did spend a decent amount on that run. Huzzah! I gained some spirit essence. Alright, well, that actually gets what I was going for in this one. Of finishing off the season. Let's give that its new shiny... God, that is horrible to look at. I love it. I bet it has a stupid sound effect to go with it too. All the skins do. But I guess let's call it there. Oh, is Peachy streaming again? No. I claim she is. Let me refresh my page. I'm gonna raid someone, but it's giving me people who were online yesterday. That's just wrong. Yeah, it's we could always raid Pickle. Alright, so I'm gonna end it there. Let's go raid Pickle.